So now we are going to talk about the various pillars of privacy and see how they work. Do they work standalone or is it beyond just creating the pillars? Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. The first thing that we are talking in this series now is about consent. Is consent enough or do we not need to go beyond consent? What happens is that most of the organizations have started believing that consent itself is a compliance. In fact, there are some organizations who believe having a privacy policy itself is a compliance. Privacy policy is an important factor. So is consent. But that does not end your compliance need over there. You collected consent, you have made a good record, encrypted, safe. But does the organization work on the patterns of the collected consent is more important. Nothing changes by just collecting consent. It's only a first step. I would not say that it is of no use, but I would always say that's only the first step. That helps you filter out, even in real business, not only from compliance point of view, who are the people who are actually interested in working with you instead of just having people working with you, right? Nothing actually changes. Same data collection, same sharing practices, and same excessive access all across, which does not help, right? Consent helps to get the permissions, filter out who provide permission for what activity, convey to them what processing you are doing, but it has to go beyond that. The practices need to change as per the consent. So the real problem that comes up is that consent is collected as a formality for record keeping that we have a consent. It's not tied to the operations. There's no behavioral change. Maybe many organizations will delete records of PIIs of the people who have not given the consent. If they already have the database, many organizations will end up removing those people from there, right? Or not even adding those people in the database. But that does not end compliance. That does not even end the purpose of taking consent. There has to be a behavioral change in the overall operations of how your organization works. The consent thing breaks when there's no enforcement logic, no usage boundaries, and no operational linkage in the organization. Remember, no enforcement logic, no usage boundaries, and no operational linkage in the system. Consent does not work at all. The hard truth is that consent is easy, the governance is difficult. Forms are simple, operations control is not simple, and organizations stop at a very early stage. Start thinking at a very early stage if what they are doing is correct, and accordingly, they get into these problems of consent taken, not taken, working, not working, right? You need to be very careful about it. The real world reality would be that the data moves all around everywhere within your organization, outside your organizations, and it is stored indefinitely. So, what do you need to take care of from privacy point of view? Role based access internally with reasonable security safeguards like encryption, etc. Safe, encrypted, and if it is sensitive, then anonymized sharing outside with vendors. Full control over vendors' processing practices, anytime audit kind things, and stored only till the time the purpose is fulfilled. The moment the purpose is fulfilled, the data should get deleted. Those are the important things in the real world that you need to make sure of. DPDP says consent is only one layer. You need to follow privacy principles. You need to perform user rights. And you need to address user grievances just to make sure that the entire compliance is met. So consent, policy, notice, they are very important, but they are the starting blocks, right? There are other privacy principles, data minimization, collect the minimum possible, purpose limitation, right? And I have courses available on Udemy where you can get into the basic principles of fundamentals of data privacy, plus a lot of videos on the channel. We are on 605th video today, right? That explain these three things. Primarily, you need to ensure that all the privacy principles are taken care of, user rights are taken care of, and the grievances are well handled by the organization. There has to be a grievance redressal mechanism in the organization. What should exist? Consent must affect the behavior of people. The usage should be controlled, sharing should be controlled, and the retention should be well aligned with the way the things are working. Data should be deleted when the purpose is fulfilled. Controls need to be very well taken care of. The common mistake: privacy becomes a document exercise. We have created the document and someone has fallen behind those files. Policies are created, consent has been collected, but the operations are not working according to the policies and the consent. So you need to be very, very careful about it. Just make sure that you go beyond just collecting consent and get that consent operationalized in your organization. The behavior of the user matters. The operations also matter. So be very careful about it. That's about the fact that consent alone does not protect you. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.